You know that feeling when you spend, like, weeks pouring your absolute heart and soul into a resume? You're meticulously crafting every single bullet point, tweaking the margins to absolute perfection, only for some invisible algorithm to toss it into a digital black hole in literally 3 seconds. Honestly, it's gotta be one of the most incredibly infuriating frustrations of the modern job hunt, right?
Oh, for sure. Welcome back to I Wish I Knew These Secrets. In today's explainer, we are completely demystifying these modern hiring gatekeepers. We're diving into some fascinating insights from Reddit.io on exactly how AI resume screeners have evolved now that we're in 2026. And, more importantly, we're going to break down exactly what you actually need to do to get your resume past the bots and into real human hands.
Section 1. The Invisible AI Gatekeeper. Okay, so to really understand how to beat the system, we first have to accept that the landscape has fundamentally shifted. We aren't just dealing with simple keyword databases or, digital filing cabinets anymore. Recruiter AI has evolved into a highly sophisticated and, frankly, completely ruthless bouncer at the door of your career. And here's why this matters right now. 80%. AI-driven applicant tracking systems, or ATS, now process over 80% of resumes submitted online. I mean, that is just a staggering statistic. If your document doesn't connect with the role description according to the AI's highly guarded parameters, well, it gets filtered out and discarded before a human being ever even glances at your name. You're effectively invisible.
Exactly. And that AI bouncer, it's no longer fooled by those simple tricks that worked even 3 or 4 years ago. The name of the game now is semantic relevance. These modern systems are built on advanced large language models, or LLMs. So they don't just blindly look for isolated keywords anymore. They actually read between the lines to evaluate context, experience alignment, and even subtle signals like your career progression. So to give you a really concrete example of what semantic relevance means in practice, instead of just hunting for the exact word management, the AI actually understands that a bullet point saying you spearheaded a cross-functional initiative across 3 departments demonstrates that exact same leadership capability. It understands synonyms, related concepts, and the actual, real-world weight of your experience.
Section 2. New Rules for 2026.
So, because the tech has completely leveled up, our strategies obviously have to step up with it. We are officially done with the era of outdated tactics. No more keyword stuffing, and definitely no more of those clever formatting hacks like typing keywords in invisible white text hidden in the margins. Remember that? Yeah, modern systems easily detect those anomalies now and will actually penalize or auto-reject your application for trying to game the system. The 2026 reality is all about semantic relevance and providing really quantifiable outcomes. You have to weave natural language throughout your achievements. So instead of just saying you grew revenue, you need to give the AI some real substance. Say something like, scaled inbound sales pipeline by 40% over 6 months. Specific numbers demonstrate real, undeniable value to these parsing engines.
And going back to basics is honestly your best defense here. You really want to keep it incredibly simple. Stick to standard headers like professional summary, skills, and experience. Use standard, highly readable fonts. And this is a big one. Remove complex tables, columns, or graphics entirely. The technical reason behind this is actually absolutely crucial. Parsing engines typically read documents straight from left to right, line by line. So if you have this beautiful 2-column layout or a complex table, the AI just strips away the formatting and mashes all the text together into complete gibberish. You might literally have the perfect experience, but the AI just reads a scrambled mess. Clarity and a standard top-to-bottom structure are really what allow the model to actually comprehend your value.
Section 3. Proven Optimization Best Practices.
All right, so we know the rules, but how do we actually execute? Think of this as your quick, step-by-step masterclass for bypassing the algorithm. Step 1. Tailor every single resume to the specific posting. You need to pull key phrases from the job description and integrate them organically into your experience. Step 2. Emphasize your transferable skills. The models prioritize core abilities over rigid industry timelines now, adapting to the new skills-first hiring trends. Step 3 is just huge. Build and test your resume with modern optimization platforms before you apply. You definitely want to see how an AI reads it before the employer's AI reads it. And finally, step 4. Track your applications via a central hub or dashboard. This is critical. By monitoring your response rates, you might suddenly notice that a specific little tweak to your professional summary actually doubles your interview requests. Data is absolutely your best friend here.
Section 4. Common Resume Pitfalls.
Knowing what not to do is just as important, right? And even highly experienced executives fall into these traps. I actually saw a resume last week that had, no joke, 5 different colorful bar graphs on it detailing their skill levels. It looked amazing to the human eye, but the AI probably read it as a total system error.
Oh, absolutely. Complex tables and graphics are a massive trap. Another huge one is the buzzword salad. I can't even tell you how many people think overloading their resume with terms like synergize and paradigm shift without any context is a good idea. In 2026, buzzwords without context immediately trigger red flags for being artificially padded.
Right. Or what about the generic summary that just says, hardworking professional seeking opportunities? If it doesn't actually reflect the target role, you are instantly tanking your semantic relevance. And length matters drastically too. Aim for 1 to 2 pages. If it's excessively detailed, you just overwhelm the parser's memory limits. But if it's too sparse, the AI assumes a lack of substance and just kicks you out.
Spot on. And I'd say the final pitfall is just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. You really have to test your resume against sample descriptions using online simulators to identify your weak spots before ever hitting submit.
Section 5. Passing the human test.
Okay, now let's shift the narrative toward the ultimate goal here. Because bypassing the algorithm isn't actually the finish line. It just means you finally get the privilege of talking to a real live person. So the crucial point to remember is this. Once your resume clears that AI stage, your focus must shift entirely to human interaction.
Exactly. This is where you take all that semantic data, all those perfectly parsed, quantifiable numbers from your document, and you breathe life into them through authentic storytelling. Let's say your resume successfully got you through the AI with the bullet point, increased sales by 20%. Well, in the interview, you don't just repeat that number. You tell the story of the incredibly tough quarter where market morale was totally down, how you rallied your team, the specific challenges you overcame, and how all of that resulted in the 20% bump. You really need to practice explaining your career moves in ways that highlight your personal growth. And please do your homework on the company culture and their recent projects. That genuine human interest in depth is exactly what separates you from the 10 other candidates who also figured out how to beat the AI screen.
Getting hired today really demands this delicate blend of technical awareness and authentic storytelling, which leaves us with a final thought to ponder as we wrap up today's explainer. Are you optimizing your career story just for a machine or for the human waiting on the other side? By embracing semantic relevance, clean structure, and measurable results, you can absolutely satisfy the AI. But at the end of the day, it's your story that will actually impress the recruiter. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one.